As we can see in the picture we're taken in one of market in Indonesia, this country is very crowded. Not surprised since 2003, with the population estimated at over 250 million people, Indonesia is the fourth most populous country in the world. With this predicate, surprisingly too, in the past years, Indonesia has had strong economic growth, and in the Association Southeast Asian Nations or ASEAN, Indonesia has had the largest economic growth. From data which retrieved from data.worldbank.org, since 2012, the annual growth rate in Indonesia has fluctuated around 5%. Despite the amazing economic growth, however, is it still a lower middle income country? Hunger in Indonesia is still a serious issue, where currently there are still 19.4 million of Indonesians suffering from hunger each day, or one of three people, or estimated 60 million people still suffer from hunger in Southeast Asia, as mentioned by Indonesia Investment in 2015.
Starvation case is quite significant. This case of hunger needs to be considered in line with the increase in the human population. In Indonesia, around 22 million people starved between 2016 and 2018. This is shown by the report of the Asian Development Bank 2019 and the International Food Policy Research Institute. Starvation is a cause of malnutrition and death in children. The effects of hunger are loss of energy, susceptibility to disease, deficiency of nutritional status, and death. More than 800 million people worldwide are now hunger and cannot find enough food to meet their minimum energy needs. Hunger is a factor in the welfare of society. Can be seen in food security. A household is said to have food security if the occupants are not hungry. In East Nusa Tenggara, they protect food due to the crop failure and the effect of widespread hunger. Cases of drought always occur every year in NTT, but this year disasters have been felt even worse, as happened in six villages in Timur Tengah Selatan district. As a result, around 1,000 people in six villages experience food insecurity so far. Hunger is a political issue. If we are serious about calling for solidarity, we must pay attention to subsidize and revolutionize the trading system. Moreover, the voice of those who were hungry were barely audible. Starvation is common in rural food production area. Many people here live on a small farm. When the deal is an economic deal or global trades, those who are hungry have no say. They have no representation in the international economic institution.
Nearly 40 years ago, the then Secretary of State for the United States, Kissinger, confirmed that in a decade no more child has to sleep hungry while eating the world. This goal is far from reality. Therefore, the case of hunger needs further attention.
One of the causes of hunger in Indonesia is poverty. As it is known, food plays a huge role in human life. For example, in rural areas, 14.3% of people living in poverty cannot fulfill their dietary needs. And according to some research, poverty is the leading causes of hunger in the world, no matter people live in urban or rural areas. Despite increased economic growth in recent decades, some countries like Indonesia remain a country with lower to middle income. Moreover, high food prices and unequal access to food affect people in terms of poverty. People with low income would not have the ability to accomplish their needed. Hence, poverty has a considerable impact on hunger in Indonesia.
As we can see, there are lots of problems around hunger in Indonesia. Despite the ever-burning problem, the government has done its best to reduce and tackle this problem. However, it is without a question that the people also should do their part. It is not an easy task to do, but here are some that we as a nation can do.
Since the hunger problem is related to population issues, the government must remain in control of its people. India with 1,339,330,514 people, Pakistan with 238,181,034 people, and Bangladesh with 164,098,818 people are good examples on how population is related to hunger. According to Global Hunger Index, India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh Hunger Index is categorized as serious. This is also related to population density. Too many people and not enough places to move or produce food. This is a reason why the hunger problem is related to population issues. Food resources exist and it is abundant, but why do people still live under the shadows of hunger? This problem can only be solved by controlling food production, price, and distribution. The government must make strict regulation on food producers or just produce enough food without any third party involved. Even more, the government can just import food if the country's economy is sustainable. Another solution that can be applied is doing research and increasing technological advances. Technological advances will help reduce food production and distribution costs. This aspect is a good investment in the long run. For example, Israel agricultural technology is the most advanced on earth.
Regarding the desert climate, Israel has succeeded in turning barren islands into oases, producing enough food and distributing food equally. The last possible solution is population control. Many countries succeeded in increasing their population, but not a single country success in decreasing or maintaining its population.
To reduce hunger, there must be cooperation from the government and several organizations. One of the organizations that the government must coordinate is with non-profit organizations globally. For example, the World Food Programme or WFP is working with the Indonesian government to solve hunger problems with improved nutrition and the quality of food. It also helps mitigate the effect of natural disasters on food security by providing policy, advice, and technical assistance. With this, can make the price of food can be cheaper or maybe it can be free. The government can also use an existing program, for example, Raskin. This program delivers subsidized rice monthly to the most vulnerable households. Fact of this program, the eligible households could purchase 15 kilograms of rice each month for a fifth of the market price. Each year, the government distributes 3.4 million tons of rice to a target population of 17.5 million people. With the annual budget of $1.5 billion, this makes Raskin Indonesia's largest social support program.
To overcome the hunger problem that exists in Indonesia, there must be control over food production, prices, and distribution. Research on technological advances must also be carried out in order to reduce food production and distribution costs. In addition, there is a need for cooperation between the government and various organizations, especially with non-profit organizations globally. Existing programs such as Reskin can also be used by the government to provide subsidization risk environment to the most vulnerable households. With this solution, it is hoped that hunger in Indonesia can be overcome.